Am I not doing right? You got,
It's coming along here.
okay. All right, 7:30. What's today? April 9th, 2024. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. What's the matter? It's on. Well, why is it not working? Did I? Ta-da. Okay,
You have to push that on button.
yeah, well, it's my first day. So, Berenger.
Here.
Duncan.
Here.
Christie here. Dudek.
Here.
And Gilman is absent. Okay. Are there any comments from the community for items that are not on the agenda? Not seeing any. I would like to call up Kristen DeMunick.
Yep.
Yep, so, I usually have this.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So I'm going to select her as a replacement for Carol Walters for the Planning Commission with board approval.
Nice to meet you.
So, she came today to speak, to let everybody know who she is. So go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen DeMunick. I live on Bartel Road. It's the little blue house with toys out, a lot of times out in front. And a Comcast truck. My husband works for Comcast, so his bucket truck's usually there too. And then we have two kids. Andrew's 4, and he's in preschool in New Haven. And then Cora is 2. And yeah, we love living here. We came in November 2019. City folk, you know, we're here in the country and we wouldn't have it any other way. It's a great place to raise the kids. Everybody who we've met have just been warm and just fun and friendly and kind. And so I would be honored to be a part of the committee.
Welcome aboard, so for sure.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
So for the term, how
So
long?
She has
you would finish filling out Carol Walters' term.
Per term, okay.
So it meets on the first Tuesday of the month
Okay,
at 7 p.m.
okay,
And before you leave today, if I could get your information that I can forward it on to the head of the planning commission so that he can include you in the email loop.
okay,
Because if there's nothing to meet for, they won't meet. And if there is something to meet for, they will.
And
okay.
I have to have you fill out paperwork to get paid.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I can
could
give it to you and
can we get a motion to
I'll make a
concur?
motion to approve your appointment.
I'll second.
I've got Carol's binder, so she gave it to me, so I will give it to you.
Okay.
It needs to be updated a little bit, but we're working on that with our planner, but at least it's something you can take home and start looking over.
Okay.
So I have the motion reading Berenger and Duncan to concur on appointment to finish retiring Carol Walters' term. Okay?
Okay.
Dudek?
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
carried. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
very much.
And look forward to hearing from Matt Case. If you see a email, Matt Case, he's the planning commission.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, thank you.
thank you. All right, anything else? Okay, moving on. Yeah, no special communications. Approval of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes,
Dudek,
Yes,
carried. All right,
Did you make the special board meeting? minutes?
yeah, they're in
They are.
what's that?
the special board meeting minutes.
Okay, approval of minutes from the March
Oh, I didn't
12th
even see it.
board meeting.
No, it's like. Oh.
Are there any questions on the minutes? I'll give you a minute if you need it. Minutes, get it?
is the cemetery work completed?
Cemetery work is complete and
Okay,
Had it done before Easter.
it's beautiful.
Yes, it is. They did it.
So with Terry on sick leave, did we clean up grave blankets or anything?
No, he stopped in yesterday and he had just gotten his stitches out and he said it's gonna be a couple weeks, so I don't know what we should do.
Is it gonna hurt to leave them for a couple?
No,
of weeks?
it won't. I just don't know Phoebe or Mike, what the dumpster situation is. Do they have a time limit on how long we can keep?
Mike would know.
I just called and have.
You just called them up? Okay.
So if it's sitting there
Say
until
so.
Terry's well enough,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm taking care of the car
yeah,
in Tara's absence, but,
Okay,
just let me know when you want it picked up. I'll call and have them pick it up.
the grass is growing, so the mowers are probably gonna be in there fairly quick.
well, they've got all the pine cones, all that, they did,
they did a real good job.
they did,
cleaning
I
up.
went
We
by
need to
every
take-
day, yeah.
I'll
And they
swing by.
smoothed all that where they were driving around, that's all flattened.
Okay, motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the board meeting minutes as presented.
Support?
I'll support.
That's the March 12th, right?
Correct.
And that's as presented. Okay, Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes,
Berenger.
Yes,
Christie, yes. Carried. Okay. Approval of special meetings minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve
Oh.
this. Oh,
Hold
you have more to
one
say?
moment.
Okay, never mind.
We need to put the price on there. For the,
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean, for the motion that we did,
Expensive, we're gonna, in his estimate of
16,000,
16.
right?
16,600
16,600.
of the Kittredge Cemetery. Okay,
All right, now you can.
good. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes with the addition of the 16,600,
With correction.
the correction.
I'll support.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
yes,
Berenger,
Yes,
carried. Okay. Treasurer report.
Okay, obviously, oh, so this would have been the end of last month, so, we'll see later too, the budget report for the end of the year, so, yeah. Nothing much. We did get a refund for Angie for the elections. For the camera, 400 and something, 424.
Camera?
yeah,
Yep. And I was like, what's this? I'm like, election. I'm like, oh, so that was a surprise. Otherwise, yeah, I settled with taxes. All the tax money's in there now and I settled, got 100%, so I'm happy. Yeah, so everything's good. But I
Any
know-
questions?
I don't think anything else stood out really. We will have to make adjustments before we do the thing, just for the two, you'll see, for the
Sure.
two things that we approved already. So, yeah. I said make
I'll make
adjustments.
a
for it.
motion to file the treasurer report.
I'll second.
Oh, well.
Hello? Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes,
Berenger,
Yeah,
Duncan,
Yes.
Carrie. All right, so now I got these,
Yep, those are the adjustments.
the adjustments for the tree and for the,
Tree and the Richmond recycling.
Yes.
Yep. So those were the two.
is that the only two adjustments that he
Yep,
made?
yep, the other ones that we made last month.
Okay,
The minor
the
ones,
first page here spells out where
and that
it's
spells out, yep.
coming from and going to.
Same thing, roads. We had some more money in there. We just didn't spend a lot of roads this last year, so.
Yeah, I know. 'cause
Yeah.
Road commission is slacking.
Yeah, so we got to, take out of
I have
there.
that page.
You know, they told me why,
It looks like
or
that.
what their reason is right now.
It's right after.
Their computers. is-
Oh,
No,
Should
so
be
they
right
can do
after
everything.
my report.
So
Do not have that.
I'm assuming you're gonna record all these figures in the minutes, correct?
Once I get a copy of it.
And I have to
And-
date them as March
I don't know.
31st.
You got it.
I can't find it.
It was right after, or right before the check register.
The thing right before the check register is the one we approved last month.
Nope, I think you're back too far.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's,
Is that the
it's right
expense
before
one?
the expense report.
Yeah, so I think that's the expense one, so right before
Okay.
that, yeah. I know, I print a lot of reports. so.
There it is. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
what was the emergency road repair on Palms?
That was, I authorized them to go and dump stone in where there was a big hole that cars were driving into. And they were driving around
Was
and
it the corner?
they were driving in the ditch and stuff.
Was it Frith and Palms? Or no?
It was right in that area.
Yeah, cause
yes.
that corner, people cut it like crazy.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it goes
know
right to the
exactly.
ditch. It's a weird,
I
yeah.
don't know exactly, but it was near.
So it was the
corner
dirt,
there.
it was the dirt portion,
Yes. It was
north of
It
Brattle
was the
Run.
dirt portion, and they called me and told me that people were driving off the roads to get around it and everything, and so, yeah, I approved to get some stone dumped in there.
Okay, well. This will be for the last adjustment for this fiscal year. We are over on revenue, but the auditor said it's not a big deal to be over on revenue unless we wanna, and it's only like 3%, so we made more money than we thought, so, which is good.
So we need to make a motion to do the budget adjustment.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to do the budget adjustment. For the road repair and the,
This is the
No,
final budget adjustment.
No.
Excuse me.
Not road repair.
oh, no,
Richmond
for
Recyc-
Richmond
Yeah.
Recycling and for Active
So this
Tree.
will be the final budget adjustment for the 23-24 budget, right?
Correct, yes.
For Richmond Recycling and Active Tree. Need the dollar amount and I'll put the.
Hmm.
I said, do you want me to put in the dollar amount in the minutes?
In the
I'll do
minutes,
this,
write that
yeah, and
all
I'll
out.
do all this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna spell it all out,
Yeah, I
what
would,
departments and all that.
yeah.
All right.
Did anybody support?
Who, Berenger's did it
I
and
made the
support?
motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Berenger,
Yes,
Dudek,
Yes,
Christie, yes, Duncan,
Yes.
okay, carried. The expense report just shows what we spent so far out of the fresh budget, correct?
Yeah, makes us look good right now.
Looks good, right?
I know. Yeah.
All right. And then this next page,
That's just what we
is
approved
the
last month.
previous budget.
Yeah, so I
adjustment.
just show when I enter it, that
Okay.
this was what was approved.
Good deal.
So, yeah.
Good deal. So the next one is check register.
Do you wanna look at the old one? first?
I know,
Okay.
I see what happened here.
Yeah,
And then,
do we need to do anything?
I don't think so, because it's
Different?
less than we authorized.
Yes,
I mean,
the scan on the scan. That,
here's what happened.
okay,
This check written to this employee was,
Wrong.
The
doc-
wrong
it
pay
got
or
run through for
something.
the wrong amount of
Okay.
pay. And so then they had to void it and write it for the right amount, which turned out to be less. Right? Did it turn out to be less?
well, this check register is less because we're taking away a check, you know,
Yeah.
but you,
Well,
it's on the
that's what I
next
mean.
check register.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We already authorized a certain amount for this check
Yes.
register, but now it's less.
Yeah.
Right,
So
And then you
which,
put the new check in the new check
which
register.
check number was that?
It
Uh,
was, 4494. So anyhow, then the correct check shows up in the now check register. Okay.
Right on that. And that's a new one, okay. You guys have any questions on it?
I have.
It's pretty cut and dry.
I have.
Are you good, Stan?
Yep.
On it, okay. I'll make a motion to approve check number 4544 to 4583 and electronics 95 to 99 with a total of $117,581.46.
Support?
I'll second.
Any questions? Christie, yes. Berger,
yes.
Udit,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
okay, carried. Good deal. Ordinance officer report.
So he mentioned that he did a misdemeanor ticket. So is that the old way or the new way? Cause there's no new way. Okay.
He hasn't said anything to me about it.
Okay, cause that's what it says right here, has been issued and the copy of the ticket was forwarded to the township attorney. So I don't, okay. And there's another one, same thing,
Where does it say this?
the third page, yeah, there's Bauman Road,
And this Bauman Road.
and there's the one before the Bauman Road.
This Bauman Road one is the one I told you that the other day when I was coming in, Semco was putting a gas line into the building.
Yes. Was that what it was doing? Right
Mhm.
there, up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just doing like maintenance. I'm like,
They were putting a gas line into the building. I saw them hooking the meter up onto the outside of the building.
okay.
And then this other one on Gratiot where it says during daily drive-bys, it was noted some of the blight had been removed. I drive by there every day. I've seen no movement of
That
blight.
place next to Amos?
Yeah,
That
I've
place is
seen
a
nothing
mess.
moved. Yeah, it's a disaster. And this other one about, the communication is seized with the homeowner, that one that they wanted to be repaired, demolished or put up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I found out when I talked to somebody, there is no requirement that it has to go through a real estate. He said that it had to be, but they told me they had never heard of that.
Is it in like a code thing that we don't
I
know
talked to
about,
a
like
buil- I
building
talked to a-
code,
I talked
you
to a
know?
Building official.
Okay,
So-
so is it like a
So what
building
is
code?
this new, first letter of complaint sent to new owner?
I think. he
Is that,
told-
that's the place?
Yeah,
right?
he told me that he thought that somebody had bought it.
So you can't think somebody bought it, just
Well, that, he said,
ask the assessor.
yeah,
They'll-
but I don't know because like, I know when he said before he was sending letters, Phoebe, you got tax bills back, correct? So I don't know if maybe they bought it, but you didn't get anything about a foreclosure on it. So, yeah, we don't really know.
No. I could check and see how the taxes are, for old ones, but I know they weren't being paid for a while, at least, so.
So can I ask a question?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
So is Angie saying that the blight is not removed from,
Up to the put
From
on.
what?
on Gratiot Road?
What road? I didn't. hear.
Gratiot?
Gratiot Road.
No, well, that one there, I don't see.
The one next to Amels,
Yeah,
you're
I
saying?
don't see anything happening there.
Well, I guess, this goes back to, I hope you guys read my email about transparency. And photos before something can be closed out.
Any other questions on this report?
Yeah, why wasn't it given in a timely manner?
I was just gonna say that, I'm like,
That
it's
I-
rude for us to read at a
This
meeting,
was it
you
with
know?
me.
Yeah, that's.
This is supposed to be in our packet by law last Tuesday, so
Well,
that we have time to review this. I'm tired of coming to the meeting, getting this thrown at me and supposed to read through what's going on with issues in the township. I'm done with that. I'm done. That's how he's gonna do it, then he needs to go down the road.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. And to take it seriously and to comprehend it
Well,
correctly.
Here's my question too. If he told you on Thursday when you called him that he was going on vacation, then why?
I didn't even, I don't know, did he tell you guys? I don't know.
I didn't know either.
I don't like, no, yeah.
You told me that when I
Because
said
they
yesterday.
told us on,
Yeah,
yeah.
when I said.
It's just like,
yesterday,
oh, he's on the plane. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I
And
didn't,
had mentioned that he was gonna be out.
yeah.
Well, I think
Nobody
Justin,
told me.
yeah, I don't think Justin is the go-to guy on this. And if he's gonna be if he's gonna be out of town, then that report should have been done before he left. So why wasn't? it?
Exactly.
He could have emailed it.
It's
on-
not a new thing. This is a continuous thing. He snubs us at everything that happens. He snubs the ZBA. He snubs the supervisor. And he snubs this whole board when he doesn't get this report in. It was supposed to be part of his contract. You
I
probably
hope-
shouldn't. Be-
I hope you read my email this evening if you haven't.
I haven't read my emails yet. But. Um.
Speak to me.
We need to look, we need to keep an eye out. For a new ordinance officer, obviously.
Okay.
Um,
You did get that one
you
resume.
know, that's something that I can he does too much stuff. I mean, just to kind
I
of
think he's
limit.
got too much on his plate and he works for
Yeah,
too many.
we need to kind
Yeah.
of, we're just not getting what we want to out of this, so.
I feel like this.
but I know it's hard to find
I
somebody,
feel-
so.
I know,
I
'cause
know,
you're
so-
always the bad guy when you're ordinance.
So
You're
we
never
just
gonna make
need to-
anybody happy.
I don't know if we can put lookers out, or I don't know how we post otherwise, I know you.
Well, I'm the bad guy either way. I mean, if we say you're not doing ordinance no more, then people are gonna be after me for how come we don't have somebody?
I know.
And then if I say, well, let it ride, then they're gonna say you don't do anything
Well,
around
we
here.
need to,
And it's just wrong, you know, so. If you want, somebody wanna make a motion, you wanna throw in.
I'm not
to
saying
the
to like,
curb,
to
then
start
do
look,
it.
we need to start looking, that's pretty much. I don't know if you can,
I'll deal with whatever.
I don't know how
guys
you,
decide.
how do you advertise?
I agree
No,
with
but-
Katie. I think it's time to find at least somebody.
Wanna
for
make a
ordinance.
motion, Stan?
We don't have, I don't know that. Do you feel like? we
I say
need a
I don't,
motion?
that's what I was
Well,
wondering,
They're
like,
saying I've had enough, and obviously it's pretty much,
I just, I feel like
everybody.
our ordinance report is getting thicker instead of thinner.
it's hard to fill this.
Well, I'm not
position.
gonna
I know.
vote in favor of this ordinance report getting filed anyhow, because I don't understand what's going on here. I should have known about this, and I don't know about any of this, writing
Tickets.
a misdemeanor ticket, and then I don't know about that. Nobody said anything to me. There's two of them here that I'm seeing so far.
I know, one of the,
And then there's other ones saying a new thing has been issued to a new owner and awaiting feedback from the township supervisor. None of this was discussed with me.
and
I'm
one,
saying,
and I
it's
see
hard
one
to
that
get
says,
feedback when you didn't know.
one says a 60-day window, like where has 60 ever been in our procedure to get stuff cleaned up,
Well, the last place it was left with me is the attorney was gonna look at it
Yeah.
and get back with
But to
me.
give somebody 60 days to clean up, that wasn't in our time, our flow chart, whatever, to get something cleaned up either.
Yeah, there's a couple, there's like three of them that say.
Well, if the
60 days.
person, but if the person, is amiable to working it out and taking care of the issue, I'm
it's-
sure he has the latitude to say.
I mean, and it's
can-
not,
can you
it's
get
the
it done in
Gratiot,
60 days,
it's the Gratiot Road
but
one.
if it's one,
So it's not even communication.
but if it's not communicated.
It's not
that's a whole other thing.
communicated, it's just seeing that something got moved. So then they moved it to they need to 60 days.
1, 2, 3,
I don't know, I hate looking for ordinance officers, it's just,
there's 5 of them that say.
Well, that's-
we never get what
That's
we
been a
want.
constant issue for the past
12
100
years.
years.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
12 years.
I can't remember.
I will say, we got Big Hand Road cleaned up. That's one good thing. We have to- we have to give credit for that.
We got- We got one
Well-
little star.
But I know, I agree.
Well, I definitely am not gonna,
I took the lead on that, getting that cleaned up.
Well, I know you were doing that before he even
I
came on the scene.
specifically came to the board and asked for permission to aggressively go after that one. Or it would probably be still the same, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, I'm just saying. I'm getting pulled into stuff that's not even stuff I'm supposed to be dealing with, you know? Your hired help is supposed to deal with things, and if they do their job correctly, everybody looks good.
So with his contract, I don't remember what it says in the contract in regards to the ordinance. Yeah, so that would, are we paying, because
yeah, was there,
once we find somebody else, we're gonna have to.
was there anything specified in there for him to have this report in a timely manner?
I thought we had just a board decision in general on that.
I thought
It
we
was just a
had
board
talked about
decision.
this before at one time, that
I don't know if it's really his contract, but it was a
What?
board decision,
what?
His contract that, if we were to find somebody else, are we paying, because obviously we're gonna be paying somebody else then, so we need to lower his amount. I don't
Correct.
know. But
Yes.
how you
We did-
separated
we
was just
did.
what we did internally. It
Okay.
wasn't on his side.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was,
No,
he amended his
no.
contract.
Yeah, he does so much for building, so much for zoning.
And it's
so
on
much
his
for-
contract, that part too?
Yeah.
On his contract, and I feel like that contract was up for renewal here,
It was up for review.
yeah. for
Long
review,
time.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, just as long as we're not paying two, that's. Well, I mean,
And
I would
it's-
like to do
and
a
it-
board decision.
And I really feel like in his contract, there was a clause that said we just had to give him 30-day notice. So if we were to say, hey, in 30 days, somebody else is taking over the ordinance part of your
Mhm.
job and you're just gonna just stay and do the other ones. I mean, we have that.
Because now, what can you gotta prove?
So, do we need to make a board decision or just kind of just the
No.
mindset of it?
I want it on paper. So first, let's vote on this ordinance report. Okay?
Well, nobody's voting for it,
Yeah,
I
nobody
assume.
else.
I'll make a motion to deny
There
the
we go.
enforcement officer's report.
Not accepted.
So can you explain like what happened since you denied that report?
No,
Nothing happens. It's just not
Nothing happens.
filed.
it's just not.
It's
Accepted.
just, yeah, it's just not accepted. That's pretty much
So
it.
that report is null and void?
It's just an FYI more, but it's for us to accept it, so we're not accepting it.
It's just
pretty
saying
much.
we don't agree with.
We don't agree with it, pretty much.
No,
It doesn't mean anything otherwise
I get-
besides.
But I thought you said, Phoebe, I thought you said like he issued like a ticket. Like, is that ticket go back now? Cause you're
It
denying.
doesn't mean anything like that. Like when we approve it, it doesn't mean like we're approving the tickets, you know, that's not what it is. Cause it's for him to do the tickets. He doesn't, I mean, unless he has to go through Bruce something, that's the only way that he really has to get like approved or something like that. It's really on him or between him and Bruce, you know, on those, but it's not saying it's not like when we approve his check register, her check register, we're approving the checks. It's not like that. They're different.
Is there a
Right,
second?
so I get that you're denying that.
Okay, I'm gonna support.
You supported Angie?
Yeah.
Hey, Duncan,
Yes.
Duday,
Yes,
Berenger,
Yes.
Christie, yes.
So what is
Motion
he
carried.
write a report for you?
What?
Does he have to rewrite a report?
No, this is just not going down in history as a record of an accepted report. It was not acceptable. Okay, so now we're past that, that's carried. So now, do you want to make a motion or does somebody want to make a motion or what do you want to do here? Because we're not just going to kick the can every month. If there's, I know there's issues, there's been issues. I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
I'll just make a motion to put feelers out or to advertise for, or to try to put feelers out for another ordinance officer,
Choose.
you know, I don't know, put feelers.
To start looking for a new ordinance officer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that.
So Bruce, if you find one, you can just hire the person too, right? You know?
Depending on how much they want to get paid,
Okay.
I would need some guidelines there, I think, because,
Well, obviously, yeah, that would be different because we have new hire pay, but it may be, you know,
yeah,
Talk about
it isn't gonna be that for that job. That's gonna get,
yeah. Okay, well, we'll cross
I
that
guess-
road when it gets to it, so.
I'll have to interview some people and discuss with them. They're all gonna have their ideas. They're all gonna, want different structure of pay, I
Yep,
assume.
pay, time, all that good stuff, yep.
And then, so we'll have to come back for, you know, maybe we can discuss it through office or, I don't know.
Okay.
You know, we'll have to see what happens here.
Okay.
So we have the motion. Any further questions or you just like, that's how you want the motion to read? To look for someone?
Yes.
Christie, yes. Uday,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger.
Yes.
What about you, Brett?
I'm gonna venture a guess and say he'll say yes.
I think you would too. I think you would have already made the motion.
Is there anything else on this subject before we move on?
No.
All right, assessor report, there is none. Nothing happens in April. Yeah, once the board of review is done, it's done for a while, right? Okay. So these are the. You did see the open and closed things here, right?
Yes, yep.
On these, on to the bylaws.
In a second.
Oh,
All right, let's move on to the bylaw.
okay.
I know, one fun
I
thing. to the-
already looked at those open and close. I had.
All right, so we-
Last one.
So Matt got a copy of bylaws from another township. He went through them and, edited them for our benefit. And then I sent it over to the attorney. He made any corrections he needed to make. So, I mean, it basically has 2 stamps of approval. So, do we want to,
I have one thing to say.
go ahead.
It says here, a notice of the public hearing shall be published in the Port Huron Times Herald at least 15 days before a public hearing is conducted. We've never used the Times Herald because it's supposed to be the most.
Where does it
local
say
paper.
that?
On page 4 at the bottom, where it says notices of public hearing, Article 7.
Yeah, wasn't it underlined or something?
I highlight, yeah, it is
something.
underlined. I highlighted mine. when I
Yeah.
read through it.
Page 4,
Towards the
Down
bottom.
at the bottom,
Yeah,
underline.
underline. All right,
just so you
so
know.
we're gonna take that out and
and
change
put
it to the voice.
Mhm.
Or we could even put local paper. It just,
Yeah,
when we
right.
put it into the,
All right, we're just gonna change it
Okay.
to local paper.
Yeah,
okay,
keep it more broader.
yeah.
I had a couple things too. It says. Do you appoint the ZBA members and then we approve them? I thought that was planning
No, that's the
commission.
planning commission. You're
Because
right.
it says that right here under the first on the first page, section 1. It says
Well-
appointed by the supervisor, subject to approval by the members elected to the board of trustees.
Well, basically, I mean, I kind of appoint everybody.
I thought you only appoint.
No,
planning
I
commission
mean-
and then-
Well, I am allowed to appoint planning commission members without approval,
Okay,
but everybody else, I mean. I'm the one that gets the paperwork.
Yeah.
They all send it to me
Mhm.
when anybody's interested. I'm the one that tries to find people for that.
yeah, I
And then I bring it
understand
to the
that.
board.
But
And-
there's been times that we don't choose one and it's whoever, it's, you don't.
Oh, I
appoint
don't
them, though.
select them.
And that's what it sounds like. You
Yeah, I
appointed
think, and I
them.
think she's right, because if you
Yeah.
look in the duties and responsibility book, I
Oh.
think it does say we have to. the
Yeah.
board,
I mean, you could, if we use a word, then appointed, because appointed sounds like,
Where's
planning
this?
com-
Show me. what it says.
second line,
Oh, the first one?
yeah, second line, yep, over to the right.
Right.
Appointed by.
So far as the positions appointed by. members, right? It's possible.
Presented? I don't know, it's like,
All right, well, we could
I don't
get rid
know,
of the line, appointed by the members elect of the township.
oh, okay,
board.
okay,
Okay,
just so cross off the township supervisor.
no. The township supervisor subject to approval by.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah,
oh. Okay. Okay, got it,
all right.
all right, second one,
By the members elect of the
Got it.
board of trustees.
appointed by the members elect of the, yep,
You good with that then?
yep, I'm cool with that.
Is there any other things?
Just that they can, apparently they can call special meetings, I guess that's. Just, I mean, we know how the pay is, I was just, That's just, I was just worried because you see it everywhere, like special meetings, special meetings.
Show me that.
Like one is, number 3 officers, Article 3 officers, it's the second page. It says, and has the authority to call special meetings, so a chairperson.
The chairperson.
Yeah, so I
shall
can,
preside at regular, adjourned, or special meetings. And shall have. And has the authority to call special meetings.
I mean, I guess that's fine, but as long
they
as,
do call special meetings
Yeah.
sometimes. But they don't get paid for another meeting.
that's what I'm just worried
Oh,
about,
okay,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
But
about,
like, if they can't make a decision, if they're at a meeting and they cannot come to a decision to approve or deny a variance, for instance.
then there will be a special
Then-
one, then, yeah.
The chairman has to call another meeting. And they have to meet again and finish that case.
Okay.
But they only get paid for the case once,
Yep, yep,
so they know that going in.
okay.
And here's another thing, it says, does say 3 members is a quorum, I know.
That's the second thing I have.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing, but
Is
it's just
that-
that that's been like a bone of contention with them.
That's what I'm asking you, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, okay, cause I,
They're the ones that always say they gotta have a full board
Right,
to make a decision, but that's not true. Anytime you have a quorum, you can make a decision.
so if there's 3 people, if 2 voted no or yes, then it's considered,
Pass.
yeah, it would
Okay.
just be like if 3 of us were here and we made a decision, it's still going to pass. I
Okay.
just
as long as
wanted,
it's the odd
because
amount,
it's
okay.
in here,
The thing is on the ZBA, they always feel the pressure of, I don't want this guy to get mad.
because he's.
Well, yeah,
Well, and the thing is, if you just go by the laws,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, so as long as we're good with that,
but my other one was, 3 unexcused absences in a calendar year shall be considered a resignation by absence and create a vacancy. I thought I read in my duties and responsibility book that they have to bring that to our board to have that person removed.
it says that further later in here.
with the reports, they just report such vacancy to the Board of Trustees. What it says,
Where does it say this?
it's all section 5 before the order of business, you'll see section 5.
Article 5, order of
Section
business.
5, yep. Yep, not above it, section 5.
Can you read that line item?
The line item,
Reread that, she just read that second ago.
a member's absence from a meeting, that one?
Yes.
Which one?
A member's absence from a meeting may be excused by the majority of the members present at the time it occurs.
The keyword I'm looking for is excused.
Excuse me?
Three absences that are not excused.
Yeah, 3 unexcused absences.
Hmm.
You have to spell the, who excuses and who doesn't excuse.
By
The
the, no, by the
majority
majority of ZBA board members.
at the time.
I,
That's kind of weird.
yeah, and my question is because I know we did talk, I don't know if we talked about it or if Diane talked about that or somebody did about having that if you need an excused absence, like maybe you need to tell them by Friday or something so that.
So you can call the
Right,
alternate.
so you can get an
In a
alternate,
timely
right.
manner, yeah.
Right.
We're not worried about having a 3-man board, we're worried about having a 4-man board.
Board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you want a 5-man board.
Right,
But
you
having
don't want a 4.
Yeah.
Right. But,
That's the
And that's
whole
what I was
purpose.
thinking too. I'm like, wait, we haven't done, but we've had a 4 on the board and that was the problem.
When you have
Okay.
4, you want to make sure that the alternate can show up.
right, and
Yeah.
I feel
thought-
like if you're calling on Tuesday to say I can't be here tonight, that's not fair to the alternate either.
No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that they decided they had to let them know within.
That's what I
72
said,
hours.
I swore
I
somebody,
didn't
I
see
don't know,
that in
somebody
here
said
at
that,
all.
but I didn't see
I
that.
didn't
either.
look, I don't remember seeing that part.
But yeah, I looked through
At
this
all.
too and I did, and I wondered, because I know we talked about that.
I don't know.
can we add that in here? It must be 72-hour notice?
Yeah. We'll just go.
Yeah, the member shall have an agenda no less than 3 days before the meeting. Yeah, that's all it says. It doesn't say anything else.
Under section 5?
Where
Well,
members
section
absence.
6, right? Or wait, you want to do it under the absence? let me just
A
read this.
member's absence from a meeting may be excused with 72-hour notice.
Well, no, it can be excused by the majority of the ZBA members.
I know, but Stan is saying
No,
that,
what we're saying is, a member who will not attend a meeting must notify the alternate at least 72 hours prior to the meeting. That's what you're saying, correct?
It's.
Correct.
or notify the chair, because
There you go.
he flips them, right? You call when, if you need an alternate for the ZBA, if we need one, you're keeping track. If Martha did this one, then the next meeting, Paul's going to do it, correct? Is that how you do it?
We've had them
That's what we
forever.
Talked about. but
Yeah.
I haven't heard-
Yeah,
that's
that's
how-
what
We've had
that's how
them
it's
for a
supposed to
while
be.
How
too,
we
yeah.
used to do it.
Okay.
So Mike's the one that would probably
Say-
keep track, or Diane would keep track.
Must notify the,
Chair,
I would say.
I would say the chair. I would
Yeah,
say the chair.
I would say
Yeah.
notify the chairs.
The
A member
chair.
who will,
Not attend the meeting must notify the chair within 72 hours of the meeting or the hearing, or the
Will be
hearing.
unable to, I guess we should all write it the same.
a member who will not attend a meeting for any reason, right?
Yeah,
Must notify.
Should we put both in there, the chairman and the office manager?
I think it just be, if Diane can keep track that way and let him know.
Chair.
I
Person,
guess if we start having problems, we'll have
Yeah,
to
but
change
Diane-
it, so.
I would say Diane.
and I'm saying at least 72 hours. Prior. To the meeting. Is that good?
Yes.
Yep,
So, a member who will not attend a meeting for any reason must notify the chairperson at least 72 hours prior to the meeting.
oh,
And
Okay,
then I still am unsure about that 3 unexcused absences considered a resignation, because I think I did read.
well, you have to be able, you have to have an out to get rid of somebody.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I thought the way I read it, not in here, but in my,
In the,
in the responsibility thing, I think it has to come to our board and we have to remove that person. They can
and I
recommend.
thought they had, what they had was the right to appeal to our board.
oh,
Look.
maybe not last month, I think it was the month before, wasn't it?
It's in the zoning enabling. Act, I thought.
Yeah, I don't have the one that she presented. It was 2 months ago, I think she presented it. Yeah, yeah, that's all. I know the one that they presented last time did say that. The one that we were all like,
Yeah.
oh, you know.
I
there was
mean,
a
you
lot
wanna
of-
leave it like this. I just wanna make sure that that's not something
Um,
that can come back to haunt us if it's. I mean, I can look at it and if it's wrong, we could correct it next month. I can bring, or I could go look right now.
I think we should just approve it and then we'll change it if it's
Okay.
really that big of a, I mean,
Yeah, I'll look at, I'll,
I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
because
okay.
In
I
most
mean,
cases.
hopefully this won't happen, you know.
Well, in
Yeah.
most cases, I would think their absence would be excused. If someone calls and says, I can't make it because I got COVID or something.
Yep, yep.
No, they're not gonna go, oh,
Right.
no, that's
Mhm.
unexcused.
Okay.
It's just so that they have 72 hours so the alternate.
But what they're saying.
Yeah.
I think what the whole point of this is to give them an opportunity to get rid of a member who doesn't care to do the job.
I agree.
But is still
agree.
tying down the seat.
Right, I agree.
I had just one last thing, in regards to the minutes. They're supposed to be done within
8 business
8
days.
business days and they're not being done within 8 business days. It's on the last page. I don't know if we should, because we're talking about Robert's rules and blah, 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 but maybe we should clarify that it has to be done, because
Well,
if
part
they're
of
not available to the public.
and part of that too is you have to have those minutes, because if you make a decision and it's a denial, they have the right to take it to circuit court, but they
Exactly.
only have 30 days.
They should know. But where does it say how much time?
It
It
doesn't,
doesn't.
and that's what I'm saying. It
Well, but
should,
the law is 8 days.
it's not being followed though.
Okay, but writing it is not gonna make them follow.
Well, at least maybe they're not aware of it, I don't
Well,
know.
I
just-
guess.
You can write
We
it.
can leave it like this, and if I don't get it within 8 days, and because I'm supposed to get a copy because I'm the keeper of the records, if I don't get it in 8 days, I
Who's writing the
will-
minutes to begin with?
that's not.
They don't have a second.
Okay.
They're gonna have to figure that one
That's
out.
up in the air.
Okay.
We're gonna have to figure that one out.
Are you interested? They don't know right now, but they don't
Okay.
have any meetings coming up, so.
Yeah,
Well, they're gonna have to make a decision because right now we're in a losing proposition and
Well,
somebody's gonna have to step up.
it's hard to find people that wanna do the job.
yeah, that's all.
Every
that-
year when it's time to appoint people. A lot of people are asked and not many people join. So it's always good when you get someone that wants to participate.
Fresh meat. No, don't scare.
All right, so I will, if we vote yes on this, I'll send it over to the attorney to have him correct it, and then it'll be law.
Are you cool with it, Stan?
Yeah.
From your side? Okay.
Yep,
Okay,
Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to pass the bylaws with the,
with the
Amendments.
changes.
yeah, the changes.
and I'll second.
Berenger,
Yes.
you did,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Motion carried.
So we should have like them sign it or something, or get a copy of it,
And who signed
the
what?
ZBA members, once they have a meeting,
Sign what?
this.
Oh,
You know?
if they're bylaws and their laws, we don't have to have them sign and say they agree.
Just the chair.
Should we give it to them? I mean, what if
Well,
they're
they
not,
should get a
we
copy,
should at least give
yeah.
them a copy of it
Yeah.
or something,
Oh, we will give them a copy.
Okay, that's what I'm
But they've already sent this on to us.
Okay,
Correct?
just so that they're aware of stuff, like the
And their
absences
chair
or
will sign
whatever,
Which will make it in effect.
okay.
right, when we get the corrected one from the attorney, you make 5 copies and hand them out to us, so we can put them in our book.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. Last month, we brought up some planner proposals. I was asked to get some answers. I did so. So we can decide on one of these, or we could table it, or however you want to do. Here's the story. The one Carlisle Wharton one was by the hour.
Yep,
I was asked to get a price about what some of the neighboring townships that they service are paying per year approximately. You'll find it on your last page. They said around $3,000 is the average that a township around
I
here
saw that
is
one.
paying.
whoa. That's
And
good.
that could be because they don't meet all the time. It
Yeah.
could be because they don't make a lot of changes. And so there's not a lot of work given to them. It could be because they just aren't doing anything in that township, or it could be just an average of that. That's how much they do. But it's hard to compare, but that's what they got.
What's this for?
Planner.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
What does the planner do?
The planner is he's a professional that looks at your ordinances, and he prepares the ordinances so that they read correctly. And he studies to make sure that they're doing them legally, and that they cover the issues that need to be covered. Like, for instance, if somebody wanted to make a car lot out here, that's something that he would know. They have to have this many parking spots. And are they allowed to do it in that area? Because there's different zones and different ways that property is measured and, like, it may not be good for a residential use or that. So the planner is a professional that's got a degree in that area that is supposed to know all those answers and make sure that the planning commission doesn't pass stupid rules that counteract with each other or that are illegal to enforce. So as far as the rec plan, the master plan, maintaining the books, they said they would maintain our current books. They would, work on the master plan. If it needs work done, they would work on the rec plan if it needs work done. And as far as, site plan reviews and rezoning things and phone calls and such, printing and publishing, they would handle. Phone calls would be charged by the quarter hour or half hour, depending on how long the call it was. As far as us calling, as far as residents calling them, that has to be determined by the board, if you want residents to call the planner or you don't. Because you're gonna get charged for them if you do. Doing the site plan and rezoning and such. I was told that, they're fine with the fee schedule that we're currently with,
Oh,
and
okay.
they would adopt that. Said that, we would get digital and printed copies of, books that got maintained and changed. I don't know what other questions.
I don't remember any other ones.
My questions were
Yeah,
about
that's
the
yours
book
was
and
about the-
about the updating and the zoning.
And the printing and publishing, yep, yeah.
They said that they would do the printing and
Yeah.
publishing unless you wanted to handle it yourself. But, so that, I guess.
I mean, that's something we can decide down the road. I used to do it, and then Giffords Webster started and, but if they're writing.
Well, I
or-
think it's better if they do it.
Well,
because
correct, because if
If
they're,
you're getting a new ordinance in
Right.
effect, or you're fixing an ordinance, they're the ones that have the schedule of getting it published and getting it in our book and getting us the paperwork
Right.
for it.
I
And
feel
so
that
if they're, if they depend on someone from our office to get it done and then wait to hear from them, that leaves a bigger chance of someone dropping the ball and it never ending up in the book, I think. So that was that one. Then there's our current one, and then there was the weight trim one. So
I personally like the Carlisle Workman one, especially knowing that the guy that is the head senior planner speaks at our workshops. And
He does.
He's very good, so. I have some confidence there, because he's very reasonable.
I think we got a considerable savings because what we're paying right now is a lot more, and I agree, it doesn't mean that we'll
Well,
only have that much.
So,
Because we know if we do hourly, we're getting work out of that hour, so.
I'm gonna go ahead, I'd like to make a motion for us to hire Carlisle and Workman as our township planner.
so we would have to give our current planner,
30 days.
a notice,
Okay.
but,
That means I won't get my zoning books.
Ask first and then.
I asked 6
Call the
weeks
next
ago.
day.
I asked them 6 weeks ago for new ones. They told me Tuesday night, last Tuesday, they were working on it.
So what happens to the stuff that Joe T and Gary is currently working on if you get rid of him?
This person on the board, I'm sorry.
no, they're not on the board.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just an audience member.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I assume the work would go to the new
But
people
if he's got
within,
30 days, he should. be
yeah,
lined
I
up
think it
whatever
counts
he's
about the
working on.
30 days, how much he gets done or the planning commission moves, situations, so.
Because right now, the
Yeah.
planning commission doesn't really have anything going. They talked Tuesday about going over the master plan, the park and rec plan.
And then
Actually, I
the,
have a phone call tonight
and then they're looking
from
for
St.
the,
Clair County.
they're looking for the cow
Yeah,
too.
no,
so.
they're well, no, St. Clair County wants the updated ones, but
Is there a second on this?
oh,
I'll second.
Are there any further questions? Okay, Berenger,
yes,
Christie, yes. Dudek,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Carrie. I will facilitate. All right,
Well, means.
I'll have my guy talk to their guy. Okay, election FYI.
just wanted to give you kind of an overall of what happened with early voting was a bomb in our township. We had 18 people go over to Casco to vote. Went to the clerk's meeting, which the county clerk didn't come to go over the election. She had her two deputies there. And the guy from Election Source, who has now decided that, and I realize now he's the vice president of the company, he's decided that we aren't going to service the townships for any problems you have for free anymore. So for the 11 days, from the 9 days of early voting on, we had two options to go with. We could pay $2,000 a day countywide. So the county would split that, all the townships would split that cost for 11 days. And they would help us. But the other option was $300 an hour, and whoever called for help would then get billed in half-hour increments. And if they have to drive to the township to do some work on the tabulator, they count it from the minute they get in their car and drive out of their driveway, which is in Grand Rapids. So,
oh my,
yeah, they're gonna drive from Grand Rapids to our township, do the maintenance on it or whatever, and turn around and drive back. So if it's a half-hour job, we're getting charged 7.5 hours for that one thing. And I was really upset because I called them before the primary because I couldn't load my one tabulator. Well, come to find out that one of my memory cards was programmed upside down, which I didn't know, and they didn't know, but I would have gotten charged for all of that.
But the county was the one that did it
The
wrong.
county was
Yeah,
the
the
one that did it
county
wrong.
did it wrong. Yeah,
So,
and you would have
so
been charged.
I would've been charged.
Yeah.
So then, anyway, we got this from the county clerk, and she said, this is just an FYI, I've made the decision that we're going with the $300 an hour one. We didn't get a choice to even vote on it, which I think is gonna end up costing some people. Hopefully, we don't have any issues, but you never know.
So are there other companies we can use?
It has to be a countywide decision. That's the thing. And
Well, I
they,
don't think that the county can just make that decision without everybody's.
well, she
approval.
did. And then she said we could use the Don Dodge building for early voting if we wanted to run it, because she was not allowed to do anything with early voting or that, because she works with the board of canvassers.
Then I think we need to take this issue up with the Board of Commissioners.
Well, I agree. But I called Lenawee County, which did countywide early voting, and talked to the election clerk there. And she said, the law states that the county can run the early voting center if the county board approves it, which Lenawee County Board approved it. And they approved upfront costs for her to buy whatever she needed, supplies that would be reimbursed by the townships. So she did it. All the townships but one in the entire county of Lenawee did it. Jackson County did it. Hillsdale County did it. Oakland County did it. Well, Lenawee County, which is kind of like us, it's a farming community. They have one big city like we have Port Huron, they have Adrian. So when she figured the cost out for everybody, it was done prorated by voter registration. Some townships paid $1,200 for the early voting. The most expensive one was Adrian, which was $5,000. I'm way past that already. And this one isn't a big deal because I get reimbursed from the state, which is out of our tax money anyway. But the next ones, we have to, it comes out of the township revenue. So I sent this information out to all the clerks. Everybody was kind of on the same page as me, because I said, why can't we do this? And everybody kind of responded, and they kind of all agreed. And the county clerk, Angie, there said, she's called the Lenawee County Clerk and talked to her, and she's sticking by her decision, and she won't do anything.
You have to go over her head.
I'm very upset because I thought a big part of the county clerk's job was to help the local clerks get through this. And this is the biggest election cycle year in 4 years. This one's huge. And we're getting no help, and it's very discouraging. When I spent an entire week trying to load my tabulator and found out, oops, that was supposed to be that way, which was a 2-minute correction, but I would have never figured out because shiny side up, put a little sticker, say this side up when you program, but she didn't. But yes, but I just want to let you guys know, so be prepared. There's going to be some expenses
Oh, my
that
goodness.
we may not be able to do anything about. And April 15th is the deadline. If we were to do anything, we have to file a new municipal agreement with the state of Michigan. And the 15th of April is the last day. And her theory is, why should we have it up in Port Huron? That's not fair to people if they want to vote early and have to drive there. But most of the clerks said, well, they can vote absentee, which they always
Exactly.
could.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of discouraging.
Well, we can't just accept it.
Well, I did get them, I talked to them about using the printer I use because he's much more inexpensive. I try to get my test decks through him, and I told you, she told me she couldn't do that, which she could have. He charges $80 a test deck, so 2 of my precincts would have been 160 plus shipping. I had to pay election store $760 some for those same things. So I feel like, I don't know who makes the decision to switch, but I feel like they've got too much control of everything. We don't have now the printing of the ballots, at least I feel there's no checks and balances. They make the tabulator, they did the test decks, they print the ballots, they come up and service the equipment.
And you're saying it's up to the county if we use that equipment?
Mhm.
I don't like that at
Yeah,
all.
I think we need to talk to the county commissioners.
No, I think the county commissioners need to be addressed about this.
But that's that. And then my next meeting will be June 6th, so maybe I'll have some more information. We were gonna try and do an earlier one, but I just wanted to keep you up to speed on,
I'm gonna contact Dave Rush.
I was just gonna say, why don't you talk to
And,
Dave? I was
and,
writing that down.
See if he thinks that we need to appear before the commissioner board. Because
Well,
it can't just be left like that.
and you know, as a treasurer, I depend on the county treasurer at anything she'll help me with. You got to have them as a resource. And if you don't even have them as a resource and to help you, then it's like, I don't know. It's
I
not
have an
good.
example right here. He filed to run for an office. And I sent the paperwork in, and then 2 weeks later, or a week and a half later, she sends it back, and no, I can't accept this. So I had to change what he did, so I gave it to him. So then I send it back to her again, and then she emails me back and said, no, that's not acceptable. She's the election clerk.
But come back to see you tomorrow.
I think you're okay so far.
She'll let you know.
Every day, and check.
Well, he was in twice yesterday.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it. I vented.
Thank you. So on these, proposals from, High Tech.
We kind of talked about all this last month. I just feel like, why can't we just approve these changes, having them do this work? They said it
The
needs to
other
be
two
done.
were different, weren't they? These
No.
were right here. These were here with the boxes and all that too. This wasn't our,
No, that's a third one.
okay, that's what I'm saying. I thought these were new. I don't remember seeing these.
All right,
before.
so
Okay.
here's the 2 from last month.
Okay.
Okay. If you read the letter that High Tech sent, it tries to explain what the story is about why they say the stuff is needed. I called him after the last meeting and talked to him. He said they would not support any aftermarket stuff we bought. He said he didn't even know if it would communicate with how they have it set up, so we're going with them, we have to go with them or not do it.
It makes sense, because if somebody did some other work and something went wrong, who's to blame? We could end up having to replace equipment.
Okay, so then there's the third quote, which was not included last month. And this is, it's a rack. You see, there's two racks. All right. The top rack is a noise canceling rack that the server would go in. And I was given a website to go to and look at alternative ones, and they're all in the same area of like $1,000 to $1,300. So, and this one's 1,000,
You
so.
must have given us 2 copies accidentally. Do you have 2 copies of this,
Hey,
the
you never
long
can have
one?
enough.
I know, right? I'm like, oh, it's
Okay,
2,
so
but no.
the top
okay.
one server would go in. And he was talking about taking it over to the other room. And I told him, if it's a noise canceling one, he could just punch it through the wall and put it in my room. And we could set the DVR on, right on that, and get rid of that little table I got there. So that would save some money off of this quote.
Okay,
The second rack is for the other equipment that's on top of the file cabinet, that's all mishmash there. So it would be mounted on the wall and it would be in that cabinet. So that it serves more than one purpose to have those cabinets. One is it keeps it quiet and organized, but 2, it keeps the dust out. I don't know, but if you understand that computers get really dusty, if you ever took one out and took it out in the hall and blew it out, oh my goodness.
Mhm.
I've seen the dust on those, in my office.
Yeah.
So I'm for sure in favor of this one. I understand this one and
Well, if you're gonna do it,
all parts and labor is $4,100 on that one.
okay,
And,
But you said it could be less. because-
but it'll be less because of where we're going to with it, but I don't know how much less. All right,
and
so.
we already paid some of the, we already paid a lot of the labor or a lot of the time blocks or whatever.
So on the other two,
In the budget, so.
there was. The switch, and then there was, what was the other one?
The other one was that,
Oh,
something to make
the points.
Access point,
Access
wireless
points.
access.
All right,
point.
for sure, the access points are an issue and they need to be updated. So that's probably one that's
Yeah,
like.
I don't know that Ethernet. I thought that box in my office had more. Cause he said they're switching to a 24 port.
Okay, but I'm not talking about that one right
Yeah.
now. The access point one would, instead of one access point thing, it would put 2 of them, and then they'd put them up in the ceiling where they're not affecting anything, which would make sure that the wireless works anywhere in the building as well as it does anywhere else in the building. And then it would have a separate one for the public that can use it and one that we can use that would be private and secure.
So basically what we have now, but with 2 access points, because we have public and private right now.
Okay. But do you know that our Comcast one is not secure?
We went back and forth. I know when Comcast came, they said that High Tech was doing it wrong, and then High Tech said that Comcast was doing it wrong. So, because they made us, when Mike was here too, yeah, they made us change the password, and I don't know, so.
Better be careful.
They just point fingers at each other.
Right, Kristen's husband works for Comcast.
Oh,
Help you out.
so does my best friend's husband, so yeah.
And then the switch one, it just explains it here. So that's I guess whether you want to do it or not. But there's the
Oh,
choice.
this is the one though that they said is more for a home Remember that switch
Yes,
thing? He said it was
yes.
more set up for a home, not for a business.
So
You want to do these
I'm-
individually or?
well, if you're gonna do them all, then you can do it with one, but if you're gonna turn one down and do two of them,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
It
that's
says
up to you, whatever you think.
Cause it says right here that this should be completed the same time that we replace the access points to save on configuration time. Oh, never mind. Okay, I was thinking, I thought it had to be done while other things have to get done.
No, this is going by the original list. When they first came on board and they did the list of the 10 things that we should do,
Yep.
and we just
Yeah.
been picking them off. One here, one there.
I mean, we've been kicking it down the road, so I'm definitely for the box.
I'm just gonna make a
Fine.
motion that we pass all three because those need to be done. The box thing, we've been 3 years talking about that.
Very well. And it should be less than this since we already paid a chunk of the labor, so.
Is there support?
I'll second.
Okay, Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Berenger,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
carried. Okay, talk to us about the budget, miss.
We're in the up and up. For
It's our
sure.
end of the year.
Yeah, and actually, I just received a few different more bank statements with the interest, so we're even higher now. So even just looking at just the general fund, it showed, if you just look at the activity, it showed that we made $169,000. So
Good.
for the activity. And then,
Close to
and we're
three.
good on all of them, even for, all of, building, we were really like,
Yeah, right on there.
yeah,
See how
building,
close
we
it
were
was?
really close. Yeah, positive 1,000.
That's
So,
awesome.
and that's how it's supposed to be. It's
Yes.
supposed to be working for itself, the building department is. So yeah, that was nice.
And we got a good rainy day fund built up.
Yeah, hopefully we can, probably why we made so much more money is because we didn't spend enough on roads because they didn't,
Right.
and that's why we did good this year because they didn't, we
Well,
usually
road commission
pay more money.
dropping the ball because, every time I talk to them, I'm telling them, get me some work orders for ditching, get me some work orders.
Yeah.
for All they've been letting me get through is culverts and bridges. So I'm, doing whatever culverts and bridges that they'll do. But when I want them to do berming or ditch digging or something like that, they say, well, my computer's down or whatever the reason is, I'm not getting work orders sent to us. But I just talked to him again today, and he promised me that I will be getting some next week.
As he said, when he's doing gravel.
Also gravel haul, he said that we're either first or second, but he didn't know which one. So
Nice.
at least we're gonna be we'll be into May this year rather than July. And he's still not done taking people on road trips yet, so
Oh, wow. Okay.
our gravel will be down and packed down before other places get done this year, and that for once will be great. And I'm happy to say that on Palms Road, they're gonna do that solution on there. Because that has been a perpetual problem on Palms Road, the dirt part. And,
So they lay the gravel and then they put it on right away on it or?
yeah, they're gonna
Okay.
grind up the road.
Okay.
To free up what's there. Then they're gonna lay the new gravel with the old gravel, so there'll
Okay.
be a lot of it there.
Okay.
And then they're gonna go down with one of them trucks that just sprays it and soaks it down. With this special solution that's supposed to make it all pack down and get hard as a rock. They say it lasts 3 to 5 years before it needs grading, so we'll see.
Wow.
Hope for the
Yeah.
best.
Do you think that also eliminates the dust then too?
They say it will. They say that it packs it down hard.
Supposed to be a soil conditioner.
Yep. And it's new. I mean, they're always trying something new, so, but they tried it. I forget what township they said they tried it in last year and that it's still holding up fine. So. So I volunteered for Palms Road because really that's like the worst one.
Big hand or palms?
Palms, yeah, big hand or palm. Well, if it works, we'll do big hand next year, eh? Okay,
Are we just filing this budget
It's just
report?
FYI.
just FYI.
Okay.
And then now here's the new budget. You get the cost again.
It was just what was approved. I did it this way so we can see like what last year's was, what we requested, so we can see what, little changes we made at the meeting, if there was, the little differences. So just in comparison,
And I always.
like we added
appreciate-
the EMS, yeah.
I always appreciate having the beginning one to work with, because that's the one I need to work off of to do the
Yep.
next one.
Yep, just so for comparison, so that's what we approved.
Okay, what about Flagstar?
Okay, so banks, a lot of them are expiring right now, okay, all right, so. Flagstar first, they will not give me, the interest will not incur until maturity, so the balance right now is $225,000, so they will not give me what the correct balance would be with the, interest. But the maturity date's 4/15, so they're all keep telling me, make sure you let them know that rates are subject to change, it can change daily. But I've been keeping an eye on this one and it has not changed.
So these are not
Yeah.
gonna lock in?
Nothing's locked in until I cannot bring it to them until the maturity date.
Okay, so on that day, whatever that price is, it locks in.
Exactly, yes, that day, yes. So the ones I'm presenting may change a little bit, so you just always have to know that.
So
for
you
anything.
like on the 15th, which is what, next Monday, you'll call them right on
Yep.
Monday?
So these are the rates for Flagstar.
I like the 180 to 269 days.
Where are we at? Okay.
What does that mean, Phoebe? 180 to 269?
That means you have to keep it in there
At
So
least,
at least
between those
180
days.
up to
Yeah,
269.
So we could say 269,
At 269, it will expire and they'll make us do this
Oh, okay,
again.
you have to pick the
Yeah.
number of days. Okay.
But while the rates are up, I think we should play the market a little bit and get the high
So
interest.
you want 269?
What do you think?
That cool?
Yeah.
So we got two other
Regardless
ones.
what you do, it'll probably end up being wrong.
Well, you might as well get as much as you can on the rate, because, in 269 days from now, I can't see
Well,
the economy being too much different.
yeah, I was gonna say, will there be consequences to the election
Mhm.
that will change the rates drastically in one way or the other?
Well, would you think to go higher term then? There are, just know there's two other banks too that are maturing.
Sure.
The last one,
Well, I just-
smaller ones,
I just said
so,
my preference, but you
Yeah.
can pick whatever you want.
so we do have another one, so yeah.
Well, they're predicting there's gonna be no rate cuts all of this year, so probably
I don't see the economy getting magically better.
no. Probably play it by ear with that 180, 269, because even in 180 days, that's before the end of the year or something,
6 months.
we could look into locking, maybe into 2 or 3 years if we could get,
Well, we could go longer for this one if you guys want, and then go lower on another one if you guys want to, it
they
doesn't,
could go up, we don't know, so.
it's always a gamble, so.
Well, it's not a lot of difference in the rate, so you're not gonna get hurt too bad either way.
Right.
Well, somebody pick one.
I'll make a motion that we go with the 180 to 269 day.
Okay.
With 5.03.
Approximately.
Yes, approximately, yeah.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Okay, Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes,
Johnson,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Harry. All right, Genesis,
So this one's maturing so this one's maturing the 30th. But our meeting next month is like the 14th or
It's
something like that. It's
yeah,
later
right.
next month. So I only have a 10-day grace period, so I have to we have to approve it way ahead of time. So once again, it's subject to change, you know, it's kind of like that, it's just later.
All right,
So, yeah, we can't do the 9 month because they're doing this new money thing. So that's a new money if you do the 9 months. So we're not putting new money into it. And do we want to do the full amount? Do we want to take some money out of it? Cause also.
do you have
it is-
another place to put it?
Not right now. There is only one other bank that I have in mind, but I just have had it sitting, you know, sitting there. I mean, we could put 10,000 in Flagstar if no, we'd have to wait till the mature date to take 10,000 out. I mean, we could always deposit in our bank and then I can look for some more bank accounts because we have more money in our bank account now too, you know?
Right, and if we're doing short term, you have time to shop.
Yep. So we could take,
Well, I like.
I don't know, like
7
20,000 out or something like that, whatever you guys want.
Right now? Is that what you're saying?
When we,
When we swap it.
oh, so you wanna wait till after the 7 months to take the money out?
No, he said he likes the 7 months.
I said I like the
percentage.
7 month. That would give you time to shop for some banks. Because you're probably gonna have to move other money around and create a whole new account.
Mm-hmm,
But take 10,000 out and put into our
General
save
fund,
in the general.
right?
fund,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We should take more than 10,000 out because if interest is gonna be on it, it's gonna be over 250,000 already. So I'm thinking we should take 20,000 out. You know? So it's 240.
Okay,
So how about we say to do 240 in there, 240,000? We'll do
Okay.
7 months.
who's making this motion?
I will. To renew the CD
240,
Renew
7
7
months.
months, okay?
right?
for 7 months.
At 5.25.
240,000, right, Phoebe?
Yes.
So you're putting 19, right?
It's gonna be different, right? Because when it comes to maturity, you don't know what's.
All right, so we're just saying the rest will go in.
Right.
The rest will go to general fund.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yep, the remainder, yep.
For a second,
I'll support.
okay, do that.
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Berger, Christie, yes. Carried. All right, Huntington,
Okay, last one. So Huntington, yeah, so there's around 200, so we don't have to take money out of this one. There's around 239, 608, 95. The rates are a little lower on this one.
yeah. I like the 6 month on this one.
Can you pull it up and buy a CD at a higher rate?
Well, I'm gonna be shopping around we do have, what is savings?
We just approved 5 point,
5.25.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's no rules saying you can't have two independent CDs, right?
No, you cannot. We would only be able to, the only one that we can, for insurance wise, no. It can only be one for 250,000.
Because of the
The
FDIC,
only one
Right,
that we
but
can do that.
Make it a
is-
separate CD.
You can't.
but only one of them will
No.
be covered.
No,
Yeah,
that's why we took our CD out of First State because we had all our
Oh,
money in
So
there.
when the banks crash and everybody's running to get their
Yeah.
money,
yeah, because years ago, we thought like we had all these different bank accounts, each one was insured, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah,
just
I had
a
to look at that
total.
right when I got the
Yeah.
job here. And the only one that we can do that is the CEDAR, the North Star. Because how they do it, we give them the money and they distribute it among different banks. So we could give them 1 million and they could do, 249, and they'll separate it per bank. As long as we don't bank with those people, and they'll make sure of that. But otherwise, no. But I mean, whatever you wanna do for Huntington, we can. We don't have a savings or anything for Huntington, so we can't just put in a savings for Huntington.
So that's.
I mean, we could just do 4 months and see how things go, or, 6 months isn't that long. But whatever you guys want.
Someone makes motion.
And there's not many banks left, so just to let you know. I'll have to be driving really far, so we're spreading really far, so. Whatever you guys want.
What do you think, Phoebe?
I don't really care. Do you guys just wanna do you guys wanna do 6 month? Is that okay?
Fine with me.
Yeah, that's fine.
6 months? Is that okay?
Okay, I'll make a motion to renew the CD for 6 months at 4.5%.
Approximately, for each
Yeah.
one. We have to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking, it's not gonna like, it's
It's
not gonna like drop,
Yeah.
but you know, just always that possibility.
Yeah.
Okay, Christie, yes.
Supported.
I think Stan must
Do
have,
that.
okay,
Christie, yes, Berenger, yes.
Duncan,
yes.
Dudek,
Yes,
Carrie. Okay. East China School Village,
So apparently they don't notify me.
Now you.
This is
I
the
saw
second
that.
year they did
I
this.
saw that you had.
I'm like, and Memphis had to come to us and say they're sorry and everything, and East China's like, oh, yeah.
Well, they got
It's
their
really
millage, they got their millage
It's really
renewal, so they're
weird. I mean,
happy.
technically,
Yeah.
they're breaking the law for not notifying me, you know, I think by April 30th, they have to, or April, you know, whatever, by the end of April, they have to notify me. But yeah,
I'll
so
make a motion to collect the
Right,
East China
they don't care.
school tax in the summer 24.
I'll second. Last time she at least said, I'm sorry, but this time she's like, oh, yeah.
I noticed that,
Okay.
she just said, yeah,
It's like, okay.
she didn't even say,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do your
thanks.
job.
yeah.
She didn't even say thanks for reminding me,
Yes.
nothing, just yes.
Duncan.
Yes, I know. I
Berenger?
was irritated.
Carrie, any other topics you want to
One
discuss?
topic, 2 topics. Sorry, very, very quick ones. Okay. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, time's up.
oh, I know, right? All right. So for the property in front of the cemetery, I talked to the gentleman. He wants $60,000 for 0.65 acres.
I'm gonna say that's a big fat no. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, that's why, there was a rumor he wanted 10,000, but apparently that's not a correct rumor. So, the second thing, the daughter and Big Hand Road situation. The daughter called and talked to me and they're wondering if they could do partial payments to us. And they said between $300 and $500 monthly. I didn't know if we should, because I don't want to make the call and be like, yeah, it's fine, you know, I want to bring it to the board, I want the attorney needs
We-
to know,
We have
you
to
know.
get it in writing, we have to have a legal document.
That's what I wanted, yeah.
And I feel we should have a dollar amount, not 3 to 5, it should be X
She
amount.
said she's
every
hoping to
month.
do 5 unless, you know, stuff happens, you know, like, but she said the lowest would be 3.
But if,
Well, yeah, well, it'll have to be a legal document,
Okay,
just to protect everybody.
that's what, yeah, okay,
So-
so.
Well, they're,
because when she called, she said her mother is like 82 or 84.
Yeah.
And so, and we have to put something in writing that if she.
do we get the
passes-
compound interest on it then?
Oh, that's a good question, because we've.
And then if she passes away, who's,
Yeah,
you know,
that's why
and then lean, you know, like,
That's
yeah,
why, whenever we do anything like this, we always need to get it in writing and signed, sealed and delivered,
should
so
you
that
contact the attorney, or
everybody's
you want me to
protected.
contact the,
I'll contact
okay,
the
okay,
attorney
so, yeah,
and,
just let me know if you need, you know,
I'll take
that's all
that.
I wrote, that's all I wrote.
Yeah, I'll take this, that's fine.
Yeah, let me know.
So
if
I
you need
gotta
anything
contact
else.
him about this other one anyhow, and so I'll tell him that, and I'm sure he can draw it up.
Okay,
Cause you want both sides to all be on the same page and be happy with it.
Yep. That's all I had to say.
Good deal. Anything else? Motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
9:04.
That's important.
You're back on your game, Phoebe.
I know, right?
They were just slacking there for a while.
I know, I mean, put my kids to bed.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you all for coming.